What's up, world? Welcome to the TYSK Report. I got some great tech articles lined up for you today, so let's dive in and see what's happening in the world of technology. Researchers find security flaws in Skoda cars that may let hackers remotely track them. Interesting. Security researchers have discovered multiple vulnerabilities in the infotainment units used in some Skoda cars that could allow malicious actors to remotely trigger certain controls and track the car's location in real time. PC Automotive, a cybersecurity firm specializing in the automotive sector, unveiled 12 new security vulnerabilities. According to Daniela, head of security assessment at PC Automotive, an attacker would need to connect with the Skoda Superb 3's media unit via Bluetooth to exploit the flaws, and the attack can be performed within 10 meters without authentication. The vulnerabilities discovered in the vehicle's MIB3 infotainment unit could allow attackers to achieve unrestricted code execution and run malicious code every time the unit starts. This could let an attacker obtain live vehicle GPS coordinates and speed data, record conversations via the in-car microphone, take screenshots of the infotainment display, and play arbitrary sounds in the car, according to PC Automotive. According to a Skoda spokesperson, at no time was and is there any danger to the safety of our customers and our vehicles. So it's been a while since I brought you some news related to hacks, and it's great that this company was able to patch things up. But looking at this from a futuristic lens, as the world continues to move towards integrating more technology into vehicles and the rise of robotaxis is on the way, it's going to be very important for these companies to have some type of system in place to prevent this type of stuff from happening and to also combat it the moment that it happens. No one would ever want to be in a robotaxi having conversations that could be personal conversations with a significant other or a friend, and then having that information leaked out to somebody simply because a hacker could hack into the car and record those conversations. And the same thing can go for electric vehicles. Also, as the technology grows, I'm sure a lot of hackers out there are going to want to hack that stuff even more. So this is just always something for you to be mindful of. I think being mindful is going to be a vital skill to have as we move towards a more technological future. So that way, if this type of stuff happens related to hacks, cyber attacks, or if your data gets leaked and all that type of stuff, you're not caught off guard by any type of news related to it. Let's move on to the next article. Levita Magnetics reports its first dual robot surgical procedure. Levita Magnetics Incorporated this week claimed that a surgeon has performed the world's first procedure using two different surgical robots. The surgical robotics developer said that the operation shows how platforms from different manufacturers might deliver better patient outcomes when used together. Dr. Jeffrey K. Dew at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center used the Levita Magnetics MARS magnetic assisted robotic surgery system with the intuitive surgical Da Vinci SP single port system for a prostatectomy on a human patient. The procedure, a prostate removal surgery, utilized Levita's MARS platform to maneuver internal organs using its proprietary magnetic positioning system, enabling precise retraction of tissue with the goal of enhancing visualization to preserve nerves involved in sexual function and urinary continence. The Da Vinci SP robot provided the single port capabilities required for this complex urological surgery. If the dual system approach takes off with surgeons, it would give a lift to Levita. Intuitive Surgical is the world's leading surgical robotics developer with more systems placed than any other company. In October 2024, Levita Magnetics said it conducted the world's first surgical operations combining a 3D camera and augmented reality headset. That approach could help usher in the future of telesurgery and telemonitoring, expanding access to minimally invasive robot-assisted surgeries for patients in remote locations, as well as public hospitals and ambulatory surgical centers. So that's just some news related to robots and surgeries. And in this video right here, and in this video right here, I brought you information of how these robotic systems were being implemented more into the healthcare space. So from my perspective, in 3 to 5 years, we could see this become normal. We could see people prefer to have their surgeries conducted with robotics versus the traditional method. Let's move on to the next article. ACLU highlights the rise of AI-generated police reports. What could go wrong? The American Civil Liberties Association, ACLU, is sounding a warning about the use of AI in creating police reports, saying the tech could produce errors that affect evidence in court cases. The nonprofit highlighted the dangers of the tech in a white paper following the news that police departments in California are using a program called Draft 1 from Axon to transcribe body camera recording and create a first draft of police reports. The ACLU noted a few different issues with the use of AI. First off, it said that AI is quirky and unreliable and prone to making up facts, and is also biased. Secondly, it said that an officer's memories of an incident should be memorialized before they are contaminated by an AI's body camera-based storytelling. The third point was around transparency, as the public needs to understand exactly how it works based on analysis by independent experts. And finally, the group noted that the use of AI transcriptions might remove accountability around the use of discretionary power. So I'm not familiar with the Draft 1 technology, but if you know about AI, you know it has room to hallucinate, and when it does hallucinate, it makes up things that never happen. So I do hope that this police department is aware of that as they are looking to integrate this technology more, because if AI does start to hallucinate as it's generating these reports, it's going to do a lot more harm than good. But also from another perspective, when it comes to technology, different industries are looking to implement technology and AI even more to reduce paperwork. So this type of technology is probably just a glimpse for what police departments are going to have to use, and this could become a standard and where it becomes normal for these different police departments to utilize this technology on a day-to-day basis. In the next article we have, Klarna CEO says it stopped hiring thanks to AI, but still advertises many open positions. Klarna CEO Sebastian Siemiatkowski recently told Bloomberg TV that his company essentially stopped hiring a year ago and credited generative AI for enabling this massive workforce reduction. The company's CEO also said he believes AI can effectively replace workers. "I am of the opinion that AI can already do all of the jobs that we as humans do," said Sebastian. Klarna is currently hiring for more than 50 roles around the globe, according to the job postings page on its website. Furthermore, Klarna's managers have said they are actively hiring and growing their teams at least half a dozen times throughout 2024. It's also worth noting that Klarna is looking to IPO soon. Sebastian could be trying to convince investors that his company is aggressively incorporating generative AI into its workflows and that the benefits are already showing up. So that's just some news related to Klarna, and to also give us a little bit of insight or partial insight into the thoughts of a CEO. Now, what's interesting was the statement that he made about how AI can do a lot of the work that humans already do. Even though this company is hiring people, who's to say that when the AI technology improves and it gets better, that they are going to lay those people off and have the AI do their job? Also, his statements does line up what I talked about in this video right here, and then also this video right here. So for some reason, I'm just thinking that these companies are kind of slowly telling us where the future could be heading. Let's move on to the next article. Airbnb's anti-party tech is cracking down on unauthorized get-togethers. If you were thinking of booking an Airbnb to host a rowdy New Year's Eve shindig, the company is already one step ahead of you. Airbnb says it's rolling out its anti-party technology worldwide to help prevent unauthorized and disruptive get-togethers over the holiday. Airbnb describes its anti-party technology as machine learning tools to identify and block risky bookings. The tech will be rolled out globally, but Airbnb specifically called out the US, UK, Australia, Canada, France, Puerto Rico, Spain, and New Zealand. It assesses things like trip length when the reservation is being made and how far the booking is from your current location. If a booking is deemed a high risk, guests will either be blocked or redirected to different accommodations. For folks hoping to book an entire home for a short holiday getaway, reservations of 1 to 3 nights will also be blocked. Guests booking entire homes will also have to agree to a mandatory anti-party esthetician. So that's some news related to Airbnb, and because of a lot of incidents that happened years ago, they want to make sure that when it comes to using their platform and booking a stay with one of their locations, they want to make sure that you have a comfortable getaway versus a chaotic one. Let's move on to the next article. Exxon can't resist the AI-powered gold rush. AI continues to reshuffle power and energy markets, with even oil giants like ExxonMobil getting into the mix. Exxon announced last week that it's planning to build a power plant for data centers, reflecting just how much electricity tech companies expect they'll need in the coming decade. According to one estimate, nearly half of new AI data centers might not have enough power by 2027. The oil and gas company already operates power plants for its own operations, but the new project would be the first for outside customers. The planned power plant would run on natural gas and generate over 1.5 gigawatts. The company isn't planning to connect the power plant to the grid, avoiding the interconnection backlog that has plagued many new power plants. So it looks like Exxon is looking to get into the mix when it comes to supplying energy for these data centers to come. But what's very, very interesting is that even though these companies are pushing AI and wanting to build these data centers, having that projection that there might be not enough energy in 2027, which when 2025 gets here, that's going to be a 2-year time span. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when we get to that point and then there's not enough energy to supply to these data centers. Will it just halt everything? And by that time, will a lot of businesses in the world be integrated into AI? And if it is halted, would that stop society as a whole or the things that we do on a day-to-day basis? So I think a lot of different parts are going to play into this within that 2-year time frame, and it's going to be interesting to see what transpires when that time comes. Let's move on to the next article. Huawei invests $413 million into robotics subsidiary. Huawei Technologies, a Shenzhen-based telecommunications provider, last week invested 3 billion yuan, about $413 million, into its subsidiary Donghua Jimu Machinery. Huawei said Jimu's business scope includes electronic component manufacturing, engineering and technical research, the import and export goods of including technology, experimental development, and more. Huawei last month an embodied AI center in Shenzhen. The center, it said, will focus on integrating AI into physical entities, including robots. The Huawei Global Embodied AI Industry Innovation Center will build what Huawei calls key foundational technologies involving areas like embodied AI models and computing power. According to the International Federation of Robotics, China is by far the largest robotics market. The IFR said that 276,288 industrial robots installed in China in 2023 represent 51% of all global robotics installations. China also has a robot density of 470 robots per 10,000 employees, the IFR said. So when it comes to China, they are a lot farther ahead when it comes to robots than the US, and we know that because they host a lot of different conferences and also the World Robot Conference. So with this company, we could hear a lot more news about them in the next couple of years related to technology innovation. So this is a company to be on the lookout for. It's always important to bring you some type of news related to technology outside of the US, and I just don't want this to be focused on the US because technology as a whole is going to change the world and what we do on a day-to-day basis. So that was just some of the latest news when it comes to the world of technology. I'm glad that you were here to watch this video, and in order to stay informed on all of the great things happening in the world of tech, you should like this video, subscribe, and then check out these 2 videos. And then after you check out these videos, comment down below in those comment sections and let me know your thoughts.